Dad believed that if this community had better marriages, a lot of things would be different. And my sister and I had the privilege of living with Papa G and Mama G for about 7 months. And there could have been no better training for marriage and family life for the two of us. And I'll let Rob tell you a little bit more about that later. Even though it was still a little intimidating, living with him and all that, you know, not in a bad way. He was just so smart, and I just didn't feel like I was when I was around him. I soon learned that I'm very much like Mama G, and that's what he said. And I figured, well, if she can live with him, I can learn how to be a good daughter-in-law. That would meet his expectations, but see, he wasn't about that. He wasn't about expectations. He really wanted us to succeed and to figure out our callings in life and just to go for it. And something that I admired so much from Mom and Dad and just living with them was just their conflict resolution skills. I'm Puerto Rican, and that was a weak area in my life. It's getting better. But just a quick story to go along with that. There is one time we were putting a garage sale together to raise some money for Africa, and I didn't really enjoy the process of putting a garage sale together. But that day I woke up, and I woke up late. Rob and Mom were already outside. Everything was ready. Everything was priced. And Dad had left the house. And I said, well, I have a few minutes. I'm going to boil some eggs, and then I'll go out and I'll say hi to them, and I'll see how they're doing, and I'll figure out how I can help now that I'm up. Well, I started the stove, and I put my little egg timer in there. It's this little silicone thing that tells you when your eggs are hard, medium, or easy, or soft. So I put it in there with my eggs, and I went outside to the garage. I sat down with them, and I talked with them for a long time. Maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes later, maybe a little less than that, who knows. Dad comes back because he had forgotten something, and he goes in through the front door. And he comes out, and he says, very calm, I need to stand up for this. He comes out just really calm, he just, hey guys, how you doing? Oh, we're good. Did one of you forget something on the stove? No. Mom was like, no, I didn't. And Rob was like, no, I've been out here. And I was like, no, I don't remember putting anything on the stove. And he's like, you might want to come inside. We walk inside, and literally from the one door to the other, you could not see the furniture because of the thick smoke that was in the house, because this little thing was burning away, and it stank. It smells so bad in that house. And he hadn't even turned off the stove after he saw it. I was just so amazed. I was like, are you not going to yell at me? Are you not going to scream? Are you not angry? I'm so sorry. I felt terrible. But that's just who he was. He was in control of his emotions. And, his emotions were not controlling him. And so I just went inside, opened every window, every door, had all the fans running. Anyways, but Dad had something that he shared with us was that he had conquered anger. And that's something that I look forward to doing one day, to be able to do that. Now I'll let Rob tell you about...
I was just about to say that would be a bonus for me. Many of you guys here had the privilege of knowing Pastor Grabill. If you came just out of respect, you knew he was a great man here in the community, and you never had the chance to meet him, then I'm sure some of these stories just kind of gives you an idea of who he was. But I'm sure even the people that knew him for 20 years had the question, was he the same guy that was up in this exact place every Sunday that he was at home? And, we're just here to share with you that he was the same person. He was who he was, whether he was inside these four walls or whether he was across the table from someone in the community at a restaurant. Regardless of where he was, whether he was at this pulpit or at home in his shorts and socks. Yes, he wore shorts, and his legs were really, really white. Right, Mom? Really, really white. Sometimes we wore sunglasses. But like I said, he was who he was. He was a man of great respect. And our respect for him was the greatest way that we could have loved him. And man, he loved us with all of his heart back. Most of all, he loved Mom. She was his number one here on this earth. They prayed for each other every day. They laughed and they teased each other, even in the tough times. Even when he knew that he didn't have much time left, his humor never went. And it was great to witness that. I don't know of a better marriage. I don't know of a man who's more worthy of respect. They may be out there, but I haven't met them. There was no other man we loved more than our dad, Mom's husband, your brother, your pastor, and your friend. He was who he was.
We wanted to tell just a couple stories about the last couple weeks and months with Dad, and just kind of give you a glimpse of what that was like. And I think I ran this by Mom, but this story is, I didn't really think much of it when it happened, but apparently it was a pretty big deal. But now I think it was a pretty big deal. But I had we were with my dad pretty much 24 hours a day the last couple weeks, and he would sleep, you know, sometimes during the afternoon and wake up in the middle of the night, and if he needed anything or needed help with something, there would be someone there. So I had the glory shift of 2:30 to 6, sometimes 7 or 8, just kind of depended on when people woke up in the morning. But one morning, the day of Dad's birthday, August 9th, my dad got up and he couldn't go back to sleep, and he asked me if we could go to Walmart. So I was a little bit hesitant because he was pretty weak, and this was just 2 days before he passed away, and no one else was awake. And he said, "Well, what's the worst that could happen?" So I was thinking things like, you know, you passing out or something and me being here alone. But anyway, so we got in my dad's car and went to Walmart, and I got him in the wheelchair, and we pulled in, and there was a couple employees standing out front smoking cigarettes. It was like 5 in the morning, and he was waving to all of them as we came in, and he wanted to see all the movies on the Redbox list. And we went through, he wanted to go through all the grocery aisles. So we went down, we were in the fresh produce area, and anyone who knows the savor side of the Grabill heritage will appreciate this story. But he saw a plantain and wanted one of those, thinking it was a banana. And I told him it wasn't. He saw the bananas, and he wanted to go over there. So we went over the bananas, and he pulls up 6 bananas. And, you know, I was just talking, like, there's some more ripe ones here if you want those, or we can get this, that's fine. And I've never done this before, and kind of forgot that you could because it was by pound, but he detaches 1 banana from the pack of 6, sets it in the basket, and we were good to go then. That's all we needed. So, but it was a unique experience. But he decided that he wanted Hawaiian Punch, and we got some V8 Fusion, and we were talking to employees about what drinks they recommended, and it was pretty special. And then I came home and I woke Mom up and I said, "Hey, we just got back from Walmart." So that was quite a surprise to her. So Ireda has a story.
Not too long ago, we all took a family trip to Oregon and to Washington, and we also went to Minnesota. And it was a Grabill family vacation, which was my first experience.